Hello, welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel. Today I'm reacting to Cricket Explained. If you already know baseball, I know a little bit about baseball from movies, and I've seen one game 10 years ago. 10 years ago, yeah, in Los Angeles. So yeah, that's basically not a lot of knowledge, but let's hope that will be enough to understand cricket. In cricket, I know there is some game where they play for ashes, I think it is, whatever they burned, and I think they burned those bats they have, and then they put them in a box, and now they play for that for some reason. I don't know. Maybe you can explain in the comments down, because I would be interested in that too. Yeah, let's start.
Explained if you already know baseball.
All right. To get this started, I want you to imagine a game much like baseball,
Okay.
except there are only two bases, and they're
Yeah,
basically where home
okay.
plate is and where the pitcher's mound is.
I knew
to score
that.
a run in this
Yeah.
game, you simply have to reach the next base.
Okay.
So if you put the ball in play and you make it to the pitcher's mound, that's a run.
Ah,
And
they
then if you're able to
both.
make it
Okay.
back to home plate, then you score 2 runs on that play.
Ah,
This game is played in the
they
middle
play.
of an oval,
They,
so there's no foul area. You can hit the
okay, so they both have to run to and reach the other side to score 1 point. Okay, that's interesting. Not just one player like in baseball. They both have to. Okay, yeah, they both have to do that. Okay, and the view must be really good because everybody has good seats because the action is right in the middle. That's cool.
ball behind you, you can hit it to the side or whatever. And in this game, the pitchers are allowed to bounce the ball.
Oh
If you
yeah,
can
okay.
Picture this game in your mind.
Bouncing
You
it.
are 75% of the way to understanding cricket. The rest
Okay.
of it is details. Before we get started, I just want to say that I'm going to be explaining this like I would to a friend of mine who knows baseball and wants to know about cricket.
Okay.
I'm probably going to be switching between baseball
to
and
know.
cricket terminology a little bit more freely than maybe somebody who's a hardcore cricket fan might be comfortable with. Feel free to correct
Well,
me in the comments.
since I'm not
But what might be more
not-
fun
or
is
not
if
yet,
you
I
made a
won't
companion
mind.
video that explains baseball in reverse. All right, let's get started.
Basic gameplay.
So cricket is a game played between two teams of
Mhm.
11 players.
11. Oh,
When a
okay.
team is fielding, all 11 of its players are on the field at the same time. 9 players
Okay.
are out in the field at the various positions, and then there's one bowler, who is basically the pitcher, and one wicketkeeper,
Okay.
who is basically the catcher. And then the team that is
Okay.
batting has 2 players at bat at any given time. These batters stand at opposite ends of the pitch, which is
Okay, so this guy and this guy are the batters, and the other team are the fielders. Okay, and I guess the fielders throw the ball to the pitchers, and they hit it. Okay. Why are they all in white? That makes no sense, but okay. And I know India is really into cricket. That's all I know.
a narrow rectangle that's in the middle of the oval that is the cricket field. At the ends of the pitch are 2 wickets, which are these little
okay.
structures that have 3 stumps and 2 bales. The stumps are
Okay.
the 3 pieces of wood that are in the ground, and the bales are these 2 little pieces of wood that rest on top of the stumps.
Interesting.
A play
okay.
begins when the bowler, which is
Never
basically the
seen
pitcher,
something like that.
bowls the ball to the batter. The bowler is ultimately trying to break the wicket, which would get the batter out, and more on that later. The batter.
Okay, that's what they are. What they are for. They try to get the ball past the guy who's batting to break those wickets, and then he's out. That's interesting. Okay.
Is trying to protect the wicket and put the ball in play. If the ball is put in play and the batter and the teammate are able to switch
Yeah,
places. So
I've
basically,
thought of
assume the
about
other
it,
one's
yeah.
position, the team has scored a run. And if they can do that
Okay.
again, then they score 2. And if they do that again, they score 3, etc. There are no strikes in cricket. The batter can just choose not to swing if they don't want to. And there's
Okay.
no penalty for hitting a batter with a legally thrown ball. Batters are
Okay.
expected to protect the wicket and not let themselves get hit. In fact, as we'll see in a little bit, there are actually situations where a batter can be called out if they allow themselves to be hit with the ball. There is the equivalent
Okay.
of a ball in cricket. It's called a wide.
A wide,
and if the
okay.
umpire has determined that the bowler has bowled the ball wide, 1 run is awarded to the batting
Oh
team.
wow.
There's also
An
something
automatic
in
run,
cricket
okay.
called a no ball,
No, but
which
okay.
is when the umpire has determined that the ball has been delivered illegally. And there's a couple dozen different reasons why an umpire
Okay.
might call a no ball. If the umpire calls a no ball, just like a wide, 1 run is awarded to the batting team.
Oh wow.
In cricket, the batters stay on the field until they are out. So they continue to bat and score runs until they are put out.
So you bet until you are out. So basically, if you are not out, you can score unlimited. That's cool. So it's not. I guess it would be difficult to switch after like any amount of pitches, because then you would have to leave the whole field, and it's really big, so it makes sense. Yeah, okay, that's interesting.
This means that, just like in baseball, a batter can be out with 1 single swing of the bat, or they can stay at bat, I guess forever. But it's common for a batter to score between like 20 and 50 runs
Oh,
in
wow.
an at-bat, and it's not unheard of for a
How
batter
many?
to hit 100. This is called
100,
a
wow,
century,
okay.
and it's very fun.
The boundary.
Along the perimeter of the cricket
Yeah, I've
field is the
seen this.
boundary. This can be a rope or a little cushion type thing, or it could be a short fence or a wall. When a
Okay.
ball is put in play and it reaches or goes past the boundary, that is called a boundary. A ball
Okay.
that rolls and hits or passes the boundary or bounces over the boundary like a ground rule double is worth 4 runs for the batting
4
team.
rounds,
A
okay.
ball that is hit over the boundary, so basically like a home
A
run,
home run, yeah.
is worth 6 runs for the batting team.
Ah, okay. Automatic. Or do you still need to run?
Outs.
I guess
There
not.
are several ways that a batter or runner can get put out in cricket, and they boil down to 2 basic categories. A batter can be caught out, which is just like baseball.
Baseball, yeah,
They hit
makes
a ball in
sense,
the
yeah.
air and a fielder catches it. Or they can be out if the
Wait a moment, they don't have gloves. They use their normal hands. Wow, that must be really painful. Or is the cricket ball not very heavy and not fast? I mean, it looks fast, so it must. Does that not hurt if you like catch it without gloves? Wow, that's amazing.
fielding team knocks the bails off the stumps of the wicket when you are in a
Oh, wow.
position where that can put you out.
Oh
There's a
wow,
few different ways this could happen. You could be run out. This is where you are trying to score
this
a run.
looks
but
amazing
they knock
skill. What the
ball
hell?
into the wicket before you reach the crease that defines the place where you are safe. By the way, the bat is part of your body when determining whether or
Oh,
not you are
that
safe.
was really
You
close.
can be bowled out, and these are very
Yeah.
exciting. This
I
is
guess so.
where the bowler sends the ball to you, and the ball bounces past you and knocks the bails off the stumps. A batter can also be put out by the wicketkeeper
This
if
looks
the batter moves
exciting.
past this line here called the popping crease, and the wicketkeeper gains possession of the ball and knocks the bails off the stumps. This is called
There-
being stumped out. A batter can
From what I have seen so far, I think this is really amazing to watch highlights, and like they are very skilled and very athletic. I mean, this one guy, he just turned while falling and hit the ball on the wicket. So I mean, that must be really hard to do. Wow, I'm
also
amazed.
be called out if they allow the ball to hit them And the
okay.
umpire determines that the ball would have knocked the bails off the
Ah,
stumps
yeah,
if
makes
the
sense.
batter had not interfered
Otherwise, I
with their body.
could
This is
always,
called
yeah,
a leg before wicket. So
yeah.
those are the most common ways that you will see a batter or runner get put out by the fielding team. There are several other much
Oh,
less
the
common
wicketkeeper.
ways for a batter to get out, and we will not be getting into them here. One major difference between baseball and cricket is in cricket, if the fielding team thinks they have gotten a batter or runner out, they first have to appeal to the umpire, who will confirm whether or
Okay.
not the batter or runner is out. So if a batter or runner would be out, but no one on the fielding team notices it, then play just continues.
Oh,
The umpire
okay.
will not just like call them
Did
out.
that
When a
happen
player's put
before?
out, the bowling and fielding team is said to have taken the wicket, and the batting and running team is said to have lost the wicket.
Would he have been allowed to block the ball with his bat? Like he was rushing towards the zone, and the other guy was jumping and throwing it at the wicket. What if he hits like the bat? Is he out also?
Overs.
Each series of 6 pitches or deliveries, which
Ah,
are called
okay.
balls, is called an over.
Okay.
Each over has only one bowler, and each bowler
Ah.
only bowls one over at a time. So after a bowler has delivered 6 balls, they take a position in the field, and another player comes in to be the bowler for the next
I
over.
understand.
A bowler
Okay,
can
that
field
makes.
for an over and then come back to bowl again, but a bowler may not
Okay.
bowl 2 consecutive overs.
Ah,
If you're
okay.
comparing this all to baseball, overs are similar to individual at-bats in terms of the flow of the game,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's like one series of deliveries that everyone's watching, and then there's a brief pause while a new player comes on,
Oh, yeah,
and
makes
then there's
sense.
a next set
Okay.
of deliveries that everyone's watching. The difference, of course, is that it's the bowlers, the pitchers that are coming in and out, and not the batters.
Yeah. So it's
Formats.
the other way
Beyond
around.
everything that has been explained so far, the majority of the details of the game that you watch will depend on the format of cricket that you're watching. There are 2 basic formats of the game of cricket.
Okay.
There's first class cricket and there's limited overs cricket.
Ah,
First
okay.
class cricket is what a lot of people think of when they think of cricket. We're talking about the games that go on for several days. Everyone's
Days.
wearing white. Maybe the Queen shows up. And first class cricket is most associated with the 5-day-long test matches that
Okay.
international teams play against one another. They're scheduled for 5 days, but they might be completed before that. At the beginning of the
Okay.
first day, there is a coin toss to determine which team goes first, and then the sides alternate going through their entire batting order. This happens twice, so each team goes through its batting order
Okay.
twice for a total of 4 innings. Unless the team that goes second scores more runs than the team that went first, in which case they don't have to actually finish their entire innings.
Yeah,
They
makes
just
sense.
win the game. That was very simplified. The rules governing test matches could be their own 15-minute video. The other format
Okay,
of cricket
wow.
is limited overs cricket,
Mm-hmm.
where each team is limited to a certain number of overs, and each innings comes to an end when the specified number of overs has been reached,
Ah, yeah, okay.
or when all of the batters are out,
Ah,
whichever
okay.
comes first.
Yeah,
There are
makes
several
sense.
types
It's shorter,
of limited
I guess.
overs cricket, but there are 2 that you are
Way
most
shorter.
likely to see. The first of these are the one-day internationals, or
Okay.
ODI. These are played between national teams,
Ah,
and
yeah,
each
okay.
team has 50 overs. And then there's also T20 cricket, which is 20-20 cricket, where both teams get only 20 overs. This style of cricket was invented to be more exciting and more fast-paced, and to put the length
Makes
of
sense.
an individual match around the same as other common sporting events around the world. An easy way to know whether you're watching a test match or a limited overs match
that's a
is
good
whether
point.
the teams are wearing white or colors. And if you are watching a professional match, you're almost definitely watching a T20 match.
Scorekeeping.
Uh-huh, okay.
All right, pay attention, because this is maybe the most confusing part of all of this.
I
The
guess so.
scorekeeping. So at the bottom of the screen, you'll see it says
Mm-hmm.
India, and it says 118 for 5. This does not mean that the score is 118 runs to 5 runs. No,
It's
this means
it's
that
wickets.
India has scored
5 wickets.
118 runs for 5 wickets,
Yeah,
which
okay,
means
makes
that
sense.
5 of their batters have been put out.
Makes
Then
total
it says
sense.
first innings, so this is the first innings of this match. Then it says England 287. So that's how many runs England scored in their
in their
innings.
innings.
And since this is a test match, both teams will play 2 innings. Then you've got information about the 2 batsmen that are currently up and how
That's
many
the
runs they
name I
scored
get
so
into.
far.
Yeah.
Then
Okay.
at the end it says Broad 0 for 24. This means that Broad, the bowler, has taken 0 wickets so far
And
has
conceded
allowed
24.
24
Yeah.
runs.
Okay.
And then the 15 o'clock over there,
Yes.
that's just the time of the day. It's 3 p.m.
Okay.
Now, for a
That makes
limited
sense.
overs match, there's a little bit more information that you need to know. So
That
here you
makes
go.
sense.
Down at the bottom it
so
says
far.
England. This is another game between England and India. It's a women's game. So it says England 103 for 4. So that
Yeah.
means that they
100
scored
points.
103 runs.
Oh,
for 4
runs.
wickets.
Sorry, 4 wickets. Yeah.
P2, don't worry about what that means yet. Then it says 24.3 of 50. That means
I
we
guess
are 24
It's the 24 overs and the third bat in this over is the, and 50 points. No, and 50. I don't know.
overs and 3 deliveries into
Oh, yeah.
this innings.
Mhm.
And then
From
the 50,
50. Oh yeah.
means that this innings will
The
have
maximum.
at most
Yeah.
50 overs, right? Because this is a one-day international.
Yeah.
Then
Okay.
it says target 222. This means that India went first and
Ah,
scored
yeah.
222 runs. So that's how many runs England has to score to win.
Wouldn't
And
this
from there,
be?
it's pretty much
Wouldn't
the
this
same
mean
as the
India
test
scored
match we just saw.
221?
Just
Because
be
if you
careful, because if you're
need
watching
one
an
more.
Australian broadcast,
Oh,
the scores are
yeah.
reversed. The wickets are first and the runs are second.
Yeah. Okay.
So in this one it says Ren, that's the Renegades, that's one of the teams, 5 for 135.
Yeah, makes
so
sense.
It's 5
Yeah.
wickets for 135 runs. So just be careful, it might be confusing.
Some final similarities and differences.
Alright, that's basically it. I thought that we would
That was
end this video with a few more similarities and differences between
To
baseball
understand.
and cricket. One major difference is that in cricket, if a ball is in play, the runners are not compelled to move.
They don't have to run.
You only
Okay.
run if you think you can make a run. One similarity
Okay.
is that every cricket ground has different dimensions and a different shape. And
Oh,
much like in
okay.
baseball, this means that certain cricket grounds are more favorable or less favorable to different play styles. Another difference is that in cricket, the
Wow,
positions refer to places on the field and not
Wow, those are lots and lots of points. Third man, short third man, fly step. Okay, that makes sense, I guess, if you know what all this means. But to me, this looks just confusing. Okay.
necessarily the individual fielders. So
That looks
baseball had a
interesting.
similar thing. Like you would not be the shortstop for your team. You would just be a fielder who would be playing shortstop position. And then if your team was in a shift or whatever, maybe you would be said that you were in the second base position. Or maybe for one batter, you would be in the shallow mid outfield position, right? Another similarity is that in cricket, players on field and off the field behavior is governed by an old-fashioned sense of propriety that's not unlike the unwritten rules in baseball. And the final difference that's probably become clear to you as you watch this video is that cricket is a much more international game than baseball. I don't mean to say that it is more popular in more countries than baseball, although this might also be true. What I mean by this is that international competitions, so competitions between national teams, are the norm. They're not like a special thing that everyone tunes into every 4 years. Professional cricket is a relatively new phenomenon in the world. And while leagues are becoming much more popular these days, it wasn't very long ago that professional cricket was looked upon as diluting the purity of the game. All right, baseball fan, you have just become a cricket master. You are ready to watch any cricket game that comes across your television. If you are a cricket fan and you notice that I got something wrong, which I probably have, or that I left something out, which I probably did, feel free to let me know in the comments. Although, like I said before, it might be more fun for you to just make your own companion video. I would love to watch a video where an actual lifelong cricket...
Okay, that was interesting. Now I know way more than I've known, and cricket looks really fun to watch. I'm still amazed by the guys having no gloves and like their level of agility, but they just like they fly towards the wicket, throwing it, and the other guy is trying to get there. Like, wow, amazed. I have to watch some compilation of best wickets or something. That's cool. If you have any good videos I can watch, leave a comment down, please. Thank you very much. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Consider subscribing. Goodbye.